In the next segment of our presentation, we're going to be talking about Title I, LCFF, and CSI budgets. These budgets are the budgets that the SSC is responsible for reviewing. However, SSCs only approve, review, and monitor Title I and CSI funds. Schools have two primary sources of funds to operate. First is unrestricted budgets. These are district funds given to schools to operate and include LCFF. Secondarily, schools have restricted budgets. This includes funds like Title I or CSI. They are also referred to as categorical funds. In addition, schools may receive funds through grants, foundations, PTA, and miscellaneous sources. Title I funds are under the purview of the SSC. That means they allocate and monitor these funds throughout the year. These funds include Title I Basic, or Resource 30100, Title I Parent Involvement, or Resource 30103, Title I Supplemental, or Resource 30106. Comprehensive Support and Improvement Funds, aka CSI, are given to schools which have been identified by the state, and they are housed in Resource 31820. Items that are not under the purview of the SSC but can be reviewed include LCFF, or Resource 09800. Title I Law. Title I funds are federal funds that are to be used to support students due to economic concerns. All SDUSD Title I schools have voted to implement a school-wide Title I program. Newly established Title I schools must vote to become a school-wide program school. A Title I school-wide program is comprehensive and designed to upgrade the entire educational program in a Title I school in order to improve the achievement of the lowest achieving students. That means that any student is eligible to benefit from Title I funds. The purpose of Title I funds is to provide direct instructional support to students to improve academic achievement, to provide interventions to improve outcomes, to address California School Dashboard Indicator data, to supplement the district's general program, to support supplemental professional development, to foster new types of parent partnerships that focus on improving student achievement, and finally, to support closing achievement gaps in core content areas, including math, English language arts, social studies, and science. All Title I expenditures at the school site must be described in the SPSA. The schools should be continually engaged in identifying and implementing evidence-based activities, strategies, and interventions with a focus on improving student achievement. Current data must support all supplemental supports and expenses identified in the SPSA. The SSC must provide strategy descriptions and rationales detailing the intent and expected result of the expenses identified in the SPSA plan. The Strategic Planning for Student Achievement Department has written expenditure guidelines with details about what is and what is not allowable with Title I funds. The list is not exhaustive, but it should help in making expenditures. The SPSA is a living document. Revisions to the plan that involve Title I budget, first of all, require SSC approval. Secondly, must be documented in SSC minutes. Questions that the SSC should ask include: how will this how will the change be funded? Secondly, why is this change warranted? In addition, specific changes must be described, such as the resource and account information, rationale, and voting details. The SSC should make prudent use of the limited funds so that the site can get the most return on their investment. LCFF is the state funding mechanism for districts. The LCAP is the district planning document for LCFF. LCFF requires district transparency and input from all stakeholders and is informed by school goals, which are part of the SPSA. The SSC is one of the committees that must provide input on the school's LCFF funds. LCFF are unrestricted funds with a designated intent to be used for the principal benefit of unduplicated students. These three groups include low-income students, English learners, and foster youth. Sites should know their unduplicated pupil percentage when considering how to spend funds to best serve these students. These funds are not under the purview of SSC. However, they are reported in the SPSA. The purpose of LCFF funds in San Diego Unified is to provide, first, classroom support that focuses on improving student achievement. Secondly, intervention support that directly affects the academic achievement of students. And third, to provide professional development for staff in support of increasing student achievement. The SPSA department has developed guidelines on allowable and non-allowable expenditures. In the final segment of today's review, we're going to talk about Comprehensive Support and Intervention, CSI. The Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, requires state educational agencies to determine school eligibility for comprehensive support and improvement. Local educational agencies, school districts, with schools that meet the criteria for CSI must partner with educational partners to locally develop and implement a plan to improve school outcomes. In order to be eligible to be a CSA school, California uses California School Dashboard to determine school eligibility. School eligibility is based on the following two categories of schools: low graduation rate, or not less than the lowest performing 5% of Title I schools. That includes schools with all red indicators, schools with all red but one indicator of another color, schools with all red and orange indicators, or schools with 5 or more indicators where the majority are red. Similar to Title I, the purpose of CSI funds is to, first, improve direct instructional support to students to improve academic achievement. Secondly, supplement the district's general program. Also, support professional development. To foster new types of parent partnerships that focus on improving student achievement. To support closing achievement gaps in core content areas. Also of importance, the school must address the factors that made the school eligible for CSI. The SSC makes the decisions on the spending and revisions of CSI. Budget details must be shared at every SSC meeting. A school budget overview will include the following details: budget, amount of funds that were designated for a specific account. Please note that personnel is budgeted at an average salary and benefits in the spring of the previous year. Title I is responsible for the actual cost of the employee, which includes salary and benefits of the current year. An expense, that is a year-to-date expense. An encumbrance, these are expected salaries and benefits to be paid or materials or services ordered but not yet paid. A pre-encumbrance, that's an initial ordering of materials and services. The school can also provide details of actual expenses through a budget detail transaction report. This screenshot includes a sample of what a budget overview may look like for your school site. A budget overview for LCFF, Title I, and CSI should be shared on a monthly basis where applicable. If you have questions, please note the following contact information. Each area has a specifically assigned SPSA resource teacher. Feel free to find your area and contact that person with any questions related to Title I or categorical funding. Thank you so much.